Before we begin today's episode, we wanted to announce that we have officially launched our Patreon, where you can find exclusive content, engage with North Coast, and get access to perks like recordings from live shows, freestyle tips and tricks, and Patreon-only episodes. Whoa, you're getting access. For top-tier patrons, we'll even have pre-order links for live events and virtual freestyle lessons. Sign me up. So visit patreon.com/North Coast Podcast and help your favorite hip-hop improv team thrive. Welcome to the North Coast Podcast. I am Douglas.
I'm Luke.
I'm Ralph.
And I am Dr. Brick.
We are so excited to have you listening today to our podcast. We love doing hip-hop improv comedy and discussing with some of the coolest comedians and creatives around, and then improvising songs based on the conversations. Today's guest is one of the funniest people I have the privilege of knowing and working with. Also, an incredible singer and performer. She's the host of the Millennial Movie Club podcast. She's made so many awesome viral videos, and she's the creator of viral hit sensation Plant Daddy. Give it up for Jaz Zepatos!
Oh, hey! Sheesh, I gotta carry you around in my pocket.
I'll be your affirmations.
Please,
Yeah.
please, my hype man, my mini little, like a Polly Pocket, but for my ego.
I'd be happy to do it. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Jaz, welcome to the studio. Thanks for coming to Williamsburg and chatting with the crew.
With the guys.
Yeah.
It's a real boys club tonight,
I know.
and me.
Yeah. We hope you like boys.
I'm definitely a recovering guys girl. Like that was
really?
definitely a point of pride for me growing up, where I'd be like, yeah, I just like have a lot of guy friends. I'm very chill. I don't like drama. And then you get older and you're like, oh, I sounded like a big. Can I curse on this podcast?
Yeah.
A coont is what I sounded like. Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, oh, was I having any internalized misogyny?
Self-hating.
Yeah.
Yeah, just totally,
Right.
the system corrupted me.
There you go. Yeah, because you watched all those movies that made women second-class citizens or whatever.
Right.
Yeah,
And
I
was
think.
like,
Yeah.
I can skateboard. Like, I can do what the boys do. And then you get older and you're like, we got to stick together, us girls, she said to a room full of men.
Yeah, right. Well, Anna's here, but
We're all
yeah.
like, yeah,
Yeah,
for sure. You guys want to
Anna's like-
skateboard?
Yeah.
Can we skateboard now?
You know, guy stuff, skateboard.
Let's
Yeah.
skateboard and eat tacos. Guys, stuff.
No drama, you guys. No drama.
No drama.
Okay?
That's what women bring to the
That's
table
girl shit.
while we start wars.
Literally.
But speaking of guys, girl, you are newly married.
I am. We just celebrated our 1-year anniversary of being
Hey.
married. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what's a being married highlight for you?
Ooh. Giving up. No, I mean, no, honestly, it's just like you get to hang out with your best friend all the time and hopefully it's somebody you really like spending time with, and you just get to crack jokes and be yourself. I find that I'm my weirdest self with him, which is saying something, because I'm pretty weird normally, but it's like sometimes I'm in the middle of doing something very weird and I'm like, he's like watching me do this and still wants to do it. Like, why?
Wow.
Like,
that's a true partner.
Whoa, yeah, it's
That's
nice.
a good sign. It's who you want to be in that moment, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I get to be my truest, most authentic self and still get some booty. So that's the dream.
Yeah.
That's
Was
the
there
dream.
a switch that flipped in you from fiance to husband? Like, do you feel the difference?
Ooh, in him or in
just
myself?
like, is it different? They say that there's like a difference. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. In fact, like right after we got married, I had a total identity crisis. Like I was just like, oh no, I'm a wife. And especially, not to make this an entirely feminist podcast, but I feel like there are a lot of societal pressures to like, you're a wife. So your whole life you've been like groomed to attract men and find a husband. And then you find one and it's like, now strip it away. You're just a wife and probably a mom in 5 minutes. So like, don't be sexy anymore. Don't.
Yeah.
I was like, but I like that. So, what I've learned is that you have to craft your own marriage. You have to do it your way.
Whoa.
And you don't have to do it like anybody else. You get to do your own thing. It's
I
really
smell a
cool.
keynote. Craft your marriage.
Craft your marriage. Yeah. I love my TED Talk.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and that's been, once you realize that, it becomes very liberating. You're like, I can be any kind of version of a wife I want to be.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, that sounds liberating to break away from like, I'm supposed to be like this. Yeah, I relate to that.
Yeah.
So what's the most non-wife thing you do?
Oh, shit. Am I going to?
Skateboard.
Kickflips.
Well, I make him do the dishes. So that's a big one.
Nice.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, I think I just realized, like, at first, especially after like the pandemic, I was like, oh, I'm gonna find like the fun in domesticity, and then I was like, yeah, I'm not. Like, I try to do the laundry and I leave like the shit in the washer for 3 days, or I'm too grossed out to do dishes. So like, I'm not. I have been learning to cook though.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty good at that. But I mean, in terms of things that I like leave my husband at home for 2 days to come here and do a comedy podcast.
Yeah. He's just at home like,
Is he like super
Where's my
chill
skateboard?
about that? Or is he?
I've married a very progressive, chilled, patient man, which is a really beautiful thing.
and I love your husband. Shout outs to PJ.
Let's go. Yeah, actually, we met you separately while we were broken up.
So weird.
So it was really weird.
Yeah.
And Doug,
Because they
about
broke up
this.
early.
we
Yeah.
broke up like after a year of dating, and we both found Doug in
And
that
then we
time.
both
Yeah.
As you do.
Doug.
As
Yeah.
you do.
And Doug jumped
And I
in our
dated them
pockets.
both.
And then he did like a parent trap on us.
Yeah.
He made us meet up one day. And Doug's actually like partially responsible for how we got back together.
What?
Because
This
of
is true, actually.
because of his show Toxic Masculinity. PJ went to see it and was like, I don't want to be a fuckboy anymore.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Theater can change lives. It's not just yucks and yums.
Changing lives with theater. Changing lives with theater. Changing lives with theater. Changing lives with theater. I saw Phantom of the Opera, and I was like, man, I got to stop chasing women in an opera house. Man, it's not going down, it's out, man.
Yeah, I saw the Lion King, and I said, I got to change some things. I said, I need to bore like Simba. I need to be myself.
Changing
Lives with theater. Changing lives with theater. Changing lives with theater. Changing lives with theater.
I saw Come From Away in the theater and I became a better man. I saw title of show and I said wanna make a show, I need to make a plan. Theater changed my life. I found my wife. I filled my fridge with rice that wasn't white. I had some delicious things and I was feeling good. And theater made me better under the hood.
Oh,
Changing lives with theater. Changing lives with theater. Changing lives with theater. Changing lives with theater.
I went to the theater and I saw Cats. It blew my mind. I said, this is where it's at. You know, I said this lifestyle, it looks like it rocks. I want to go home and take a big shit in a box.
Changing
Lives with theater.
Shit in a box.
Changing lives with
Shit in the
theater.
laundry as well.
Changing lives with theater.
And leave it for 3 days.
Changing lives with theater.
Oh my gosh, I'm honored, Jazz.
Wow.
I bet you didn't know when you were coming here that there would be a B-52 style strain.
I was like, interesting choice. Let's go.
Someone
Remember
was
that-
shitting into a box.
Yeah. You remember that era of hip hop where it all sounded like the
Oh, yeah.
B-52s? Yeah.
Jukebox money.
Yeah.
It's all.
Ralph is like, actually, there's a group on Staten Island.
Not me.
You always know the most obscure acts.
I've
don't
noticed
know
that
why.
from listening to the pod.
Kind of
You
a
Really?
you
SoundCloud
keep
guy.
it very real. You'd be like, but let's for a minute. Let's talk about something that fucking matters.
Oh no.
I think Jazz is the most studied guest we've had so
That's
far.
awesome.
You've listened to a bunch of episodes.
I have.
Doug and I are like pee pee poo poo.
Yeah.
Now, children, hip hop is a culture.
Hey, you introduced that hook, so we're all silly
That's
buggers.
true. That's
Yeah.
true.
Oh man. Okay, well, more Jazz and I connections. So we're both from a very strange part of the U.S. We're both from Boca Raton, Florida.
Correct. Heaven's
Boca.
waiting room.
Yeah, Heaven's
Big
waiting
facts.
room. I've had people describe it, the fact that I grew up there, as a reverse Benjamin Button.
Oh, I said that to you on the phone the
Yeah,
other day,
you just
right?
said that. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the move.
So, how do you think being from Boca Raton, which to anybody who doesn't know, Boca Raton is a retirement enclave in South Florida. Most of the neighborhoods are filled with golf carts and have restaurants in the neighborhood. You have to pay a membership fee. It's just a ridiculous place. It's made famous from Seinfeld too.
Yeah, it's like it's like a New York Jews Margaritaville.
Yep.
It's like
Yeah.
basically what it is.
Yep.
Is that on brand?
You're 100% correct.
Yeah.
That's what it's like.
How long did you live there, Jazz?
So I lived in Florida from the ages 3 to 21, and
Formative years. Yeah.
Very formative years. And then I graduated, and 2 weeks after moved up to New York. So and it's weird because when you're in Florida, you're just like living the Florida kid life. You're beaching it. You're doing all that good shit. You're full of vitamin D and you're happy. And then you move somewhere like New York and you're like, oh, we're a laughingstock of the whole country. And I just had no idea.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Especially our politics.
Oh, good. Don't say
Yeah.
our politics.
Well, just the,
No,
the
I know.
chaotic
What
nature
Florida's
of Florida.
known for,
Yeah.
for sure. And it's funny because Boca is so this is how Florida works. The more north you go, the more south you get.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Interesting.
And the more
Southern
south
Georgia
you go,
is
the more
northern
north you get, because it's all people who moved out, for us, my family included, moved down from New York, from the north. They go down there to get.
Yeah.
So
Same. I went to high school in Florida. Yeah.
where?
Just Florida was my high school. and
I
Port
learned
Charlotte.
from the land.
Port Charlotte in
Charlotte?
the Gulf.
Okay, West Coast.
South of Tampa.
West Coast.
Yeah.
Okay, different vibe,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, it was a fascinating place to grow up. Also, huge theater kid community.
Wow.
The South Florida theater kid scene is very intense.
Yes. In Tampa, they have the massive thespian gathering every year, and it was 4,000 or 5,000 kids,
Yeah.
all singing Legally Blonde at the same time.
Pippin, Corner of the Sky.
Yes. Did you
belting it at each
compete
other.
in state thespian competition?
Of course I did.
Wow.
Multi Critics' Choice winner.
Wow. Let's go.
And that's where I peaked.
I've never had such high dopamine in my whole
my
life.
God.
It's all been downhill as
Honestly.
an adult.
The South Florida theater scene will ruin you because, if you even have a modicum of talent, it's just a big fish, small pond syndrome.
Yes.
And so, I was the star of my high school. And then you move to New York, and everybody's like, so were all of us.
Wow.
Yeah.
All
Right.
6
that
million
ain't,
of us. Yeah.
yeah. And that
Yeah.
ain't enough.
Yeah.
No, definitely
You
not.
gotta have a producer as a parent.
Honestly, you have to have your parents pay your rent so you can.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you still have some Florida in you? Is there any Florida shit that you still do?
Ooh, Florida shit.
Florida shit.
Tendencies, yeah, Florida.
Loud as shit.
Oh shit.
Florida shit.
I'm engaging in some Florida shit.
Riding gators in that Florida shit.
Yeah, Florida shit. Yeah, we doing, checkers. Yeah, we out there on that outdoor checkers. Yeah, having burgers. Yeah, having fun. Then we going to Denny's, gonna shoot someone. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I'm
shit.
in Florida, get a tan. Then I drink a lemonade from a can. Then I call up and get some Raisin Bran. You're out of Raisin Bran. I'm gonna burn this Costco down.
Florida shit.
Florida shit.
We engaging in some
Florida
Florida
shit.
shit.
On some Florida shit. Yeah. Just come in from Havana, chilling in Florida in my cabana. Yeah, you know I'm chilling at the beach, yeah. Yeah, you know Florida life is in my reach, yeah. Cause I'm chilling here on the sin in Florida. DeSantis is my man, no, I'm just boring, yeah. I'm just kidding, yeah, I'm in the Margaritaville. Hanging with the Jews from New York as a community still, yeah. Florida shit.
We're gonna do some Florida shit. Let's hear it from the
Do some Florida shit. Do some Florida shit.
Ooh.
Florida shit. I'm sipping on a cocktail. I look out the horizon. I might see a whale. I'm feeling myself. I'm feeling tan as shit. I go to the mall to the Spencer's Gifts. That's all I got on this. But I know that even though I'm not in Florida no more, I'm really grateful that it brought me this Dougie galore.
And I got this Jazz, and she's great for sure.
Florida shit. That's a Florida shit.
I had a baby in the Everglades.
Shit.
Florida shit.
Speak on that.
Say more.
I had a baby with an alligator. I said, yo, me and you, we gonna get crazy. Let's go to Miami and have a Cuban sandwich. He said, I'm a gator and I won't have it. You having my baby. Let's move into a house.
Yeah.
That's only one story and you gonna get kicked out.
Yeah.
You gonna be on the streets or maybe in a mobile home.
Yeah.
Florida shit. Yeah, I'm singing this poem.
Also Florida shit. Also Florida shit.
So humid.
Also Florida shit.
Hurricanes?
Also Florida shit.
Had a baby in a swamp. Was that your experience to a T growing up?
Oh, yeah. I'm still looking for my swamp baby.
You're never gonna find it. Yeah. Have you ever been on those fan swamp boats with the fan?
Oh,
on
the airboats.
Yeah.
You know I have.
Wow.
I definitely when I was younger, we lived more inland, like in the Everglades.
You did?
Oh,
like
yeah.
Loxahatchee-ish?
Oh,
yeah.
Well, Coral Springs, Parkland.
Oh, sure. Where Newfound Glory is from.
That's right. My high school.
Really?
Not to be a downer, but Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School.
Oh,
Wah,
yeah.
wah.
Man.
Yeah.
But
Wait, did you see the production of Fame in like 2000? We'll talk about it later. My brother was in Fame and Marjorie Stoneman.
no. Just kidding.
Okay.
Bring it back. I did not.
Oh, okay.
But I saw. Yeah. I mean, just balls deep in the theater scene.
Balls deep.
Yeah,
you
but-
heard it here.
But being more inland, like in the swamps, like my dad is a big outdoorsy dude. Like thinks he's what's it? Not
He's literally
Crocodile
John
Dundee.
Deere.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
yeah. And so like we'd have like gators on our lawn and snakes in our pool, and he was always like catching things and then releasing them back into the wild. And
Wow. Did you have dogs growing up?
I had in high school, yes, I had a wee dog.
Okay, because that's a scary situation.
Yeah. Well, that's why our family business is building fences. And so everyone in Florida needs a fence or your dog will get ate. That's just like the way it is.
This is a real problem
Or
in
your
Florida.
child. Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Don't let any loose things
Yeah.
outside. 'Cause
Yeah. And how does he feel about the iguana infestation of Florida?
Oh, gourd. Yeah, they really were eating up our shit for a bit. I mean, it's just like, but you're not supposed, like, everybody wants to buy BB guns and shoot these iguanas, but you're not supposed to do that.
Yeah.
The weirdest thing about the iguana thing is that in the winter, I'm sure you know this, they'll like be up in a tree, and when it drops below like 50 degrees, they fall out, they like freeze and fall out of the trees. And I don't know if they're actually dead or if they're just like stunned and they just
I
pass
think
out.
it's stunned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it could just be raining iguanas at any time in the
It's
winter.
raining iguanas. We don't have to wrap it up. Yeah.
I was really excited.
That'll be in the outtakes. Yeah.
That'd be a Florida shit number 2.
Yeah,
Um,
honestly.
Wow. A family business building fences.
Yeah, that's, every time there's a hurricane, it's like the best Christmas ever. Yeah, which is, it's, we're profiting on everyone else's misfortune, which is kind of fucked up.
That's what business is.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's literally what it is. You're hungry. This is a Subway. You're,
Let me sell you. But yours is for calamities.
Right.
Serving
Precisely.
iguana sandwiches.
Oh man.
Right.
Once that turns into a thing, there'll be no shortage. They're everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Until they're not. Just
Until
like
they're
everything.
They're pretty big, right? They're what, like
They get
size of a
huge.
cat?
Meaty,
Yeah.
for sure. Meaty.
Me too.
They got that big.
They
No,
get
they're big.
they get big. They look like small alligators sometimes.
Yeah.
Everything's bigger, and that's not true. That's Texas.
Oh, no, everything's wetter in Florida.
Yeah, Danny.
Okay, speaking of daddy, let's talk about your newest video.
Let's do it.
Plant Daddy. So this song is amazing. I had the pleasure of helping you with it. This is, shameless self plug. I helped her sing in the studio and
Was
tracked and
born in
mixed
this
it.
very room.
Yes, I was your Mike Dean, Max Martin. I was like, again.
You were an absolute wizard. I was truly blown away by your skills. I knew you were good, but I didn't know
Oh, thank you.
the level.
I appreciate that a lot. But tell us about you did, was it once a week or once a day, songs on Voisey? Tell us about how this song came to be.
Yeah. So last summer, I was chilling in Delaware in our house that we
As one
bought
does.
by accident, just bored out of my mind. And I wanted to do something that felt creative. And so there's this app called Voisey where you just get like beats that loop and you can record your voice over them. And a lot of people will freestyle rap. And I just decided to put out like the question sticker on Instagram and be like, just drop a topic and I'll just make up a funny little song about it, just little hooks.
It's awesome.
And somebody suggested Plant Daddy. And I just did a little hook. And I mean, they were putting in all kinds of suggestions, butt plugs and, IBS. And I turned nothing down. And so Plant Daddy, just released this little hook of the chorus. And I mean, people were just like, this song is stuck in my head. I need a full length version of this. I just keep replaying, this video and I'm like listening to it before I go on dates to pump me up. And I was like,
Whoa.
okay.
Yeah. Like me with
Sure.
you, your song was that to them, pumping them up.
That's
Yeah,
right.
Right.
That is right. So I was like, okay. So I just started writing it. I found the full length, contact the person who made the beat, found the full length track and bought it and wrote it out and was just like, Dougie, help me out. And
Hey, what about some of the other ones? Did you do a song about IBS and did
I
you do a
definitely
song
did.
about butt plugs?
oh yeah, I have a song. It's like a pop punk song called. So the person wrote in the box, butt plug, good luck. And so I was like, I do what's in the box. So I did a song called Butt Plug Good Luck. And it's a really cute, like
Do you remember how it goes?
Yeah, definitely. You're like a butt plug, good luck.
Oh my God. Okay, Haley.
Try to go, but you were stuck in the deepest part of me. Butt plug, good luck. Tried the back door, but just my luck. Guess we were meant to be. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Holy shit. Well, we got to do that one.
Oh yeah, it's on.
Yeah.
So it's great because now I have all these little collections of little bits of songs, and once we decided to go hard on Plant Daddy, it's like I'm doing a comedy album, like a mix between Dua Lipa and Weird Al, or like a less sad Bo Burnham.
Yeah, less crisis-based comedy.
I mean, comedy is definitely how I deal with my own personal crises, but I just don't let
Yeah.
anybody see it.
Yeah. Don't we all?
Maybe
It's
they hear a song
the
about butt
ultimate
plugs and they're
emotional
like-
armor.
Yeah.
Right.
They hear a girl singing about butt plugs and they're like, something's going on underneath the surface, probably.
She must have used to have been a guy's girl. Wait a second.
Wait a second.
I sense Boca.
Right. Real Florida vibes.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay, so tell us about your podcast, the Millennial Movie Club.
Yeah. So when the pandemic hit, I got laid off and was like, I'm going to start my own podcast production agency because, it was a great way for people to stay connected and share their stories and all kinds of things. And they really people love podcasts. So I started this company, started producing podcasts for a bunch of other people, and then eventually it was like, all right, you have to do one, right? Put your money where your mouth is. So started this podcast with my good friend Dan called Millennial Movie Club. I kind of like accidentally niched myself on Instagram into like millennial nostalgia content, which
rocks, by the way.
Thank you.
It's so good, and you really
Thanks.
found your like corner of the
Sky
comedy.
by
Yeah,
Pippin.
corner of the sky. Oh no, you're making me miss my dog. No, corner of like the internet, because it's
Yeah.
like so important to niche yourself now.
It really is, and it's funny because I was doing comedy for a while, and like some things would hit and some things wouldn't, and I mean that's still that way for everything. But as soon as I just started getting a little more specific, it's crazy how people respond, and especially with nostalgia right now, because we all just want to like think of a simpler time while the world burns. You know, it's just it's a weird
A
time.
pre 9/11 simplicity. I think about it all the time. Actually,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
When
It's-
Rosie was on TV. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And Roseanne.
And Roseanne before she was already cuckoo bananas. It was just, she hadn't shown the world her racist tirades.
A lot of
yet.
people hadn't. And then they
A lot, yeah,
then post
yeah.
9/11.
Right, that was
everybody-
back when DT, I don't want to say his name, was the butt of jokes all the time.
Absolutely.
It's just Mr. Richie Rich.
The
yeah.
only place we needed to see him was in Home Alone 2. And it was fine for that.
He's mentioned in the Sopranos finale. They're
Wow.
like, AJ, you're gonna go be Donald Trump's helicopter, helicopter pilot. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a theory that we like the Earth, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I'll
for it.
I'll listen. I'll hear what you have to say. That the world like went into a black hole like right before the pandemic, and now we're in an alternate universe, and that's why like everything since the pandemic it's just progressively weirder and weirder and weirder. And while I'm not like, listen, anything could happen, right?
Anything could
Literally
happen.
anything could happen. So it's like maybe because life feels really fucking weird for a minute now. It's just
Yeah.
weirder and weirder.
Yeah.
It's a little spooky.
Wait, so what are some of those weird things that like time like it feels like we're
COVID?
at a that thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, Trump.
No,
all the
I know
political
that.
stuff.
I know
yeah.
that. Yeah. But like, was there anything that stuck out as like?
Oh God, what hasn't stuck out? Okay, so yeah, Trump, pandemic,
Black Lives
just like
Matter.
Black Lives Matter, Ukraine,
Murder hornets.
murder hornets,
Lantern flies.
lantern flies, just
Kobe dying.
Kobe,
Yeah.
a
Rivers
lot-
drying up.
Chadwick.
so many
Those
people
men.
dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just was like one blow after another. And now it's like, which is why, to loop it back, nostalgia comedy for the win.
Yeah.
So, niche down into that, decided to start this podcast called Millennial Movie Club, where we discuss every week another movie from the 80s, 90s, or early 2000s. We go through the plot, we make funny jokes and bits, we sprinkle in some fun facts about the making of the film, maybe people didn't know, so you're laughing, you're learning. It's edutainment, if you will.
Wow.
And people are really responding well to it. People really like it.
That's awesome.
What's your favorite movie from the era?
Ooh, oh God. Hi.
Top 3.
Should I
top 5.
choose between my
Okay,
parents
yeah.
too, or like which finger I'd like to give up? Let's see. I'm trying to think of like ones we've done on the podcast. Well, what's funny is like there are a lot of movies that we've done on the podcast that I had not watched growing up. So the nostalgia factor wasn't like, for example, I had never seen Speed growing up. And then I watched it for the podcast and was like, oh my God. Like I love
so
this.
good.
I was really expecting it to be quite bad because you're
Yeah.
just like, oh, Keanu Reeves on a bus that won't stop.
Right. Yeah.
Like-
Ugh. Yeah. All right.
You just figure like, sure, like every other 90s movie. But like loved Speed. Loved
Right. The stakes are so fucking high in that
yeah.
movie. Oh.
What is it? 10 Things I Hate About You. Classic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, movies from that era are, and now that we're looking back with new eyes, they're so bad, but a lot of them like surprisingly hold up. I think better than
Wow.
we might have thought. So
What's one that you really thought wouldn't hold up besides Speed?
Mm-hmm.
That you really thought wouldn't hold up that you had the exact opposite?
what did we do just recently where I was actually like really pleasantly surprised? It was Matilda, I think. Where I guess
it's a good movie.
I never had doubts that, like, I wasn't like, oh, this is gonna blow, but I was scared because I had such a fond memories of it growing up, and I was like, please don't let this be bad, because a lot of movies have been like, oh man,
Like Never Been Kissed, or
Like Never
I
Been
just rewatched
Kissed.
it, and it's like, it's amazing, but also problematic.
It's coming out on the pod tomorrow, actually. Never Been Kissed episode.
Yeah.
So yeah, oh man, some real problematic shit in there.
Yeah, and also just not using Octavia Spencer at all.
No.
So fucking offensive.
Isn't it weird
Yeah.
watching movies or TV shows where like John Hamm has like an under 5 and you're like, wait, what? Like people just like, but everybody has to start somewhere, you know?
Oh my God. I was thinking about the black hole still. Oh my God.
That was a product of the black hole. Is Octavia Spencer just like came out on top all of a sudden, but that was a good thing, you know?
Yeah. What if the 90s were in a black hole? What if the 90s were in a black hole?
What if the 90s were in a black hole? What if the 90s were in a black hole?
Shit was kind of crazy in the 90s, but it was a simpler time, see? There was a surplus and general prosperity, but what if it was a disparity? What if there was calamity and chaos like now? What would be happen? Would there be boom, boom, pow? But there was a lot of problems, like the things in Brooklyn and Kosovo.
The
From the 90s were in a black hole.
What if the 90s were in a black hole? What if the 90s were in a black hole? What if the 90s were in a black hole?
What if in the 90s everything was stranger? What if Vin Diesel was a Power Ranger? What if Boy Meets World and Wonder Years had switched places and then it get my fears? What if Beavis and Butthead were Ivy League? What if there was no speed? What if the bus was really a boat? Oh man, I don't know.
What if the 90s were in a black hole? What if the 90s were in a black hole? What if the 90s were in a black hole? What if the 90s were in a black hole?
I look at myself in the 90s and I want to be her with butterfly clips in my hair and blow up furniture. What if she's all that was in reverse? She goes from hot to a really hot nerd. What if the 90s
were in a black hole? What if the 90s were in a black
Roseanne, not
hole?
Rosie.
What if the 90s were in a black hole?
Octavia
What if the
Spencer as
90s were
Oprah.
in a black hole?
Hey.
Jerry.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Jazz, for coming in.
Thank you.
We love you.
So fun.
Oh my God, the best time. Thanks for listening to the North Coast Podcast. You can follow us at North Coast NYC for social media updates, and you can listen to us wherever you get your podcasts. Bye.